G'day and welcome to the third video of this bushfires project. What I want to look at now is how to estimate land cover or land use. Depending on how you want to think about it, you'll learn more about those terms in year 12, but for the moment let's keep it simple. So I really want to have a look at what type of landscape we have inside our study area. So I'm at the Dalesford study area, and the first thing I want to do, so I get a good look, I want to take out that, turn off these yellow pins. I'll just uncheck that box, and like I did before, right click, properties, style color. I want to turn the opacity of the area to 0 so I can see clearly what's underneath here. Now I'm going to start, first of all, you could keep this really simple, and if I got you to have a look at this and estimate what percentage was covered in forest, for example, you might say, I don't know, 20 to 30%. If you had to estimate how much was urban built-up area or regional centre, you might say maybe 10% of that looks to be built-up area here. What percentage was agriculture? Maybe 50%. You might have transport such as roads might be 5%. So you can just have a bit of a guess and compare that, estimate, sorry, I should say, rather than guess, and compare that to the study areas. But there is a more accurate way you can do it if you have time, and that's to draw polygons and calculate areas. So I'll quickly show you how to do that. I'm not going to go through the, I'm not going to do the whole thing for you, but I'll just get you started. So over here on the left in our bushfire project folder, I want to add a new folder, and I'm going to call that land use. So it's down here. And within this folder, now that I've got that selected, I want to add a polygon, and I'm going to call this one, I'll say human environment rather than urban environment. And what I'm going to do is just trace around. Oh, hang on, I marked that up. I'll just delete that and do a new one. I'm going to call that human environment. Now, before pressing OK, which is the mistake I just made, you've got a little crosshair here, and what I want you to do is just keep left clicking all the way around the border of where the human environment is. Okay. And now press OK, and what I've done is I've traced a polygon of the human environment, and I can change that. Let's make it blue, and let's put the opacity. Oh, I made it black. Let's make it. Oh, no, I didn't. Let's make the opacity 40%. There we go. So that's how much human environment I have. I mean, I haven't included these little bits. It's not going to be completely accurate. Now let's add another one. Let's call this one forest, and I'll just trace one section of forest. You can obviously spend a lot more time and do this a lot more accurately than I am. Okay, and I'll change the style and color. I'll make forest green, and we can do another forest layer for another section of forest. I'll call this forest 2. Okay, now what we can do is open up a website called earthpoint.us, and I want to go here to calculate polygon area. So in Google Earth, I'll select all of these, so the whole land use folder, copy. I want to paste that into here, and I want to change it to square kilometers and for the length in kilometers, and I want to export it to Excel. So what I've got here is it tells me the human environment is 3.2 kilometers squared. First forest one was 10, second forest one was 5.1. And one other thing I should add, actually, I should have done that, is the size of the actual study area. So where are we? Dalesford. I should right click, copy that into here. So Control A to select it all, delete, and I'll paste it all in there. And I'll calculate the area of this one, and I'll export that to Excel as well. So this is going to open up a second spreadsheet, but I'll just copy this and paste it into my first one. Sorry, I've got to enable editing. Okay, so this is the entire study area, 74 square kilometers, and the human environment was 3.2%. Now, if I want to 3.2 square kilometers. If I want to work out a percentage, I could do a little formula here, or you can use a calculator if you prefer. Equals 3.2 divided by 74, and I'll just put that in brackets and times it by 100 to convert it to a percentage. And it tells me that 4.3% of my study area is human environment. And you could do the same thing. You could add up all the forest areas together, divide it by the whole study area and get percentages, make up a really nice spreadsheet, and then you'll be able to compare that numerically. You'll actually have some data you can compare with your other study sites and see which one has the greatest proportion of forest cover versus human environment versus agricultural land, etc., and make a judgment call on what effect this will have on fire vulnerability.